and Planning Scrutiny Committee meeting of Monday, 10th of March 2025. Agenda item number 1, apologies for absence. I believe we've got two. Will be Judith Jones, Director, and Phil Starr, who can't make it today. He was in a pre-meeting and has asked for a couple of things to be raised. I think everybody else is here, I believe. Okay, agenda item number 2, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare any personal and prejudicial interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government and Finance Act 1992 relating to the Council Tax, the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and the Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any members who wish to make a declaration of interest? Okay, nobody's indicating. We move on. Agenda item number 3, street cleansing activities and programme. The report is written by Mark Panniers and I believe will be presented, and he would be presented, but it'll be introduced by the Cabinet Member, David Jones.
Thank you very much, Chair. The value of our street cleansing services should not be underestimated. A clean and well-maintained environment can have many positive effects on residents' well-being, where they feel safer and happier where they live, work, shop and spend their leisure time. Visitors to the County Borough will also have a more positive image of Merthyr Tydfil, be more likely to return and generate positive comments of the County Borough. Potential business investors are far more likely to invest in a well-maintained area than in a litter-strewn one. 5.1 includes many of the duties carried out by our street cleansing teams. 5.2 states that streets within the County Borough are litter picked every 10 days and includes the LEAMS stats for our streets. 5.3 shows the benefits of SPF funding, which has been available since August 2023. 5.4 highlights the benefit of our recycling on the go bins, where circa 20 tonnes of litter is recycled monthly. 5.5 explains our weed control system and our aims to improve this. 5.6 and 5.6.2 highlights the two teams involved in deep cleansing and gives examples of the work they carry out, also some stats for the work that they carry out. 5.7 shows the volume of work carried out by our two-person fly tipping team who respond to Tascomi reports. I think you would have to agree that these stats and information are very impressive. And sections 6 and 7 show where we want to be and expand on some of the things we're looking at to get there. Thank you very much, Chair.
Lovely, thank you very much. I should have said that Mark Panniers would be answering the questions, not presenting. I do apologise. Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions from members. I can't see anything on the screen. Councillor Clive Jones, may as well start with Clive.
Okay. It's on page 6, paragraph 5.1, Chair. Okay. And it's about the 10th dot down. Trunk road cleansing performed from January to March. Now, my understanding is that we act as contractors to the trunk road agency, the A470, for example. And, well, I've noticed today, funny enough, the day that we got the scrutiny, there is activity there, particularly from the roundabout, as you come out of the retail park, from there on down, both sides. I could probably indicate to you where certain litter has been there for what I would say is 3 months or more, probably longer. As you go into the lay-by, there's it's not a black bag, but it's something like that, only larger. It's been there for even longer. Now, my question is, how often are we contracted to do this work for the Trunk Road Agency? And it says here it's performed from January to March. I presume that's not the only time of the year, or is that right? is performed from January to March, because certainly no one's been up there cleaning that part from the 1st of January. So I presume that means we are able to clean it other times in the year. Now, I've made inquiries about this before, Chair. This is a while ago, and I was told, oh, it's only about 3 times a year that it's collected. The reason I'm raising this is that we're doing all we can to clean up other parts of the county borough, and then you just drive onto it from either end onto the A470, and there it is, facing you both sides.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor. Thanks for your question. We cleanse the area, the A465 and the A470, twice a year. We don't do it personally ourselves. First time is in the summer months. That's contracted out to Sutra through Neath Talbot. And this time of year, it is done by us, but the only thing we do is actually the litter pick. We actually contract out the traffic management to core highways, so they provide all the cones, the impact vehicles, the barriers required. So council staff are only working during this time now. Yeah.
So as far as the council are concerned, I presume it's a contract. We only do it once a year, sometime between January and the end of March. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, council resources. Yeah, so council staff.
I mean, clearly, you've seen this, other council members, other councillors, the public complain to me all the time, why is the litter left there? Because it doesn't give a good impression. You know, if it's tourists coming in. I presume that Sutra has been approached to say, well, do you think 3 times a year out of 52 weeks is...
That's twice a year, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry?
Twice.
Twice?
Yeah, yeah.
So we do it once?
Yeah, and Sutra do it once, yeah. Yeah.
Which I honestly think, Chair, is absolutely, in this day and age, with the amount of litter that's dumped there, it's not on. So have anybody in the authority made any approaches to Sutra? Because clearly it's their responsibility to do anything about it.
Not even aware. If it's something that the committee want to look into, yeah, I can look into that. Yeah.
Well, Chair, I'll make a comment later on, but okay. You know, it is ludicrous as it is, and as I say, the public don't understand. They think it's us as a responsible for cleaning it up, which it clearly is not. But you come off the roads, which will be cleaned up fairly regularly, straight onto that road, and it's a litter tip, just all the way down, sometimes to Abercynon.
Yeah, just going back, as I say, the lay-by should be looked at weekly. So if there's a reason, if there is any fly tip in there, then I'll check and ask the teams to.
Well, if you can have a look at the first lay-by you come to after you come down from the retail roundabout, I don't know what it is. I've never stopped to have a look, but you can see it. It's like a black bag, only it's not. I think it's made of more sound material, and it's probably fallen off a truck. But it's just as you're going into the lay-by.
Yeah, I'll check that for you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Under 5.2, it says that currently streets within the county borough are litter picked every 10 working days. Now, Phil, who's not here today, the cooperative member, we've had a discussion about this now pre-meet, and he particularly wanted this raised because his view, and I have to say, I agree with him, is that streets are not always litter picked every 10 days. And when I approached your predecessor to this, he said, well, that is right. It can't always be every 10 days because of sickness, holidays, training, etc. So you know, we're looking at this. Is it every 10 working days? And I don't know. I don't know how many streets are clean, because you've got various rounds throughout the county borough to undertake. So it's a blanket statement. What we're saying is that's not strictly correct.
No, and I'd have to agree with you there. Our target schedule is 10 days. But as you say, you know, we've got to take into consideration 10 to 14 days would be our target. But as I say, when you take into consideration sickness, you say we've got a long list of other things we need to do, needle stick. So if things like that kick in as well, then obviously it will extend that schedule. But we do look, 10 days is our target schedule, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think if those words were put in there, the target is 10 days.
Right, okay.
We may not be asking the question. But on that very point of particular rounds, because it happens, I've no doubt, in all the other 10 wards in the county borough, there are places off those rounds which are not on the round, which accumulate litter.
Right.
I'll just give you one, for example.
Okay.
The roundhouse, I don't know, you might not know it, but as you're going up the Brecon Road, before you come to the Cyfarthfa Primary School, on your right-hand side, is the roundhouse. There is a public pathway from there connecting up to Riverside Park.
Right. Okay.
I'm always contacted by residents there because of the amount of litter, cans, God knows what else is dropped there by people. So if you receive fairly frequent requests, you know, is that looked at to add it to any rounds?
Yes, it is, yeah, we do. Yeah, we get a lot of queries through Tascomi.
Right.
So we look at we got a deep cleansing team there, and unfortunately it's a lot of moving people about. They've all got their scheduled work, but then obviously when you got to Tascomi, complaints come in. Yeah. We do tend to try and move people around to actually.
Yeah, but in this case, you've got cleansing staff who are coming down both sides of the road.
Yeah.
It's only a slight deviation down, and it is a public pathway.
Yeah.
As a regular part of their round.
I'll have to check that for you.
Now, they might have put it on there, because I haven't had complaints very recently, but I used to have them on quite a frequent basis.
Okay. Yeah, I can check that for you.
Okay, thank you. 5.4 is the next one, Chair. Refers to the fact there are 329 litter bins across the borough, 61 are recycling on the go, and 75, so there's 61 which are double bins, and there are 75 recycling on the go triple bins. But that leaves approximately 200 bins which are not recycling bins, because whatever's put in there, I understand, is collected and taken away for incineration.
Yeah.
So is it the intention, is there a program to replace all these 200 bins with recycling on the go bins? Because it seems sensible to me that every litter bin we've got should come into that category, and surely it would start to further increase our recycling rates.
Yeah. At the moment, we've got a stockpile of the ROTG bins. So when a bin does fall into disrepair, this is what we'll use to replace them. There's no program as such to replace them en masse, but they say when it comes to a litter bin comes to the end of its shelf life, then we replace it then with one of these bins, the recycling bins.
So eventually, every one of the 329.
That's what we're looking to do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And would you know how much the cost is to, say, one double bin? Is it very expensive?
Yeah, they're quite expensive. We're talking, I think, don't quote me on this.
No.
We're talking around £500 for a bin, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so it's not cheap.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. And my other question is, I got two others. One is on 5.5.2. Now, this is in connection with the weed control programme. So I know there was a private contract that used to do this at one time, but we've now taken it over.
Yeah,
I understand. I'm not sure if it was last year was the first time that happened.
Yeah, it would have done through the SPF funding.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you tell me when it should be started and when it would be finished? And the reason I say that is there were, and this I'm sure happened right from Penywern right down to the Bedlinog Trelewis end, there were certain streets in my ward where it looked like lawns in front of the houses. And I can point to one immediately that stuck in my mind. It's Church Street at the core. And I've never seen so much grass growing on the pavement. Now, whether that was eventually weeded right at the later end, because I think you've got a window of opportunity to do it, I don't know, within 8 to 10 weeks in the summer months.
Yeah, what we try to do is we try to get each area will be sprayed twice a year. Okay. We will probably, obviously, we've got to wait for the weeds to start growing. As soon as they start growing, the teams will be out.
Right.
Looking to spray. So from that first spray, every area will be sprayed twice. And that's what the goal is, to do that. I think we've had pretty good feedback initially on it. And that's what the plan is again this year, is the 2 sprays per year.
So the first spray would be, the second spray would be when? In the autumn time?
Yeah, we're probably looking from end of August, September. So it all depends how quickly we can get the first spray done.
Right.
So we probably start now end of April.
Right.
And we'll go through, and then obviously once we'll roll through then for the next spray, the second spray.
Yeah.
So as soon as the first spray is complete for all areas,
Yeah.
we'll roll on to the second spray.
And you've got a new system of spraying, or I read somewhere, perhaps it's here somewhere. You know, I maybe this is with a contract. I think I saw somebody on a machine who was spraying, but I don't know whether that's the norm nowadays.
We use a lance to spray. So it's at the moment we use a lance and a container to spray. What we're looking to do next year is we're looking to get the operatives trained up on quads.
Right.
So at the moment we've got in the structure there's a 3 posts
Right.
for the weed control team.
Yeah.
So what we're looking to do is train those boys up, or ladies up, sorry. So what will give us a bit more flexibility. So it won't take the 3 people actually to spray then. We could have 2 people spraying, and the other person then can be floating around the other teams to improve capacity.
So it's on when you say a quad.
A quad motorbike, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, with a spraying tank and a boom.
Right.
So they can drive around the streets then. So it'll be a lot quicker.
Right.
And then obviously it won't take as many people to do that. So.
Right. Right. Obviously, that's what I read somewhere
Yeah.
with it. So with that vehicle be able to go on the pavement?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's small enough.
Yeah, it'll small quad. You should do. Yes,
Right.
That's the whole idea of it. Yeah.
And that's what that's the way we're using it this year, or is that?
That's the way we intend to do it. Otherwise, I think the key thing is to get the boys trained up as soon as we can on it.
Right.
Until that's happened, then we'll have to use the same methods that we did last year.
Right.
Okay.
So currently you've got 3
3 men.
staff
Yeah,
who will be doing it.
yeah.
Starting in April.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
And you cover every street in the ward?
We try to see. It's every area covered in the ward, every pavement.
Right.
We'll cover everything.
And the second one should be probably round about the August time
Yeah.
covering it.
End of August coming through then. August, September, October.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Clive Jones. Can I just check with Democratic? I've got nothing on the screen, and the way I saw it was that Councillor Bill Smith was first, and then Councillor Geraint Thomas was second. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Bill Smith.
Thank you, Chair. I am Mark, right?
Yeah.
Do some SPF fund, right? Because you're looking at the staffing, how you deliver the service.
Yeah.
You haven't sat down to look at it yet?
Sorry.
You haven't sat down to look at what program will go in place?
Not as much, but we were hoping to replicate what we did last year. So we've got exactly the same amount of teams now for next year as we did this year. So hopefully we just roll those programs through that we used last year.
Yes, can you bring that back to scrutiny straight away for us to know if there's any cutbacks in certain areas?
We've been, the SPF has been awarded, so it's been approved.
I know it's been approved, but
Yeah.
it's 40% cut in it, something like that. So
No.
I think Bill means.
If it didn't have it.
I think Bill means
Yeah,
it's going to be cut after next year.
Yeah, sorry, after next year.
oh no,
if we-
I'm
yeah,
talking you.
Yeah, 25-26, at the end of financial year 25-26.
Yeah.
If there's no SPF funding available, then there's a possibility that we could have this 40% cut, yeah.
Good. The other question I had, you already answered about the weed control because we need that to go in place. Fly tipping,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Big issue again. Right?
Yeah.
Now, in the Gourness area, we've got community collection points.
Yeah.
Where people got black bins, and they take the wheel bins down to the community collector points because the bin man can't walk around the corners because it's too steep and elder safety. So how do we work with Merthyr Valley Homes? Because if the bins are collected, then fly tipping is put in that area.
Yeah.
Our environment won't pick them up because it's classed as fly tipping. So then we got to phone Merthyr Valley Homes
Right,
to
yeah.
pick up.
Yeah.
So what's the link between yourself and Merthyr Valley Homes to work together to collect them up? Because if our boys are going there,
Yeah.
right, don't pick them up. Merthyr Valley Homes got to go there. It's extra cost. So do we work together to pick the fly tipping up? Because you have a look around some areas, we're not going to let the games people going. When council section saying they can't pick up because it's on Merthyr Valley Homes land,
Yeah.
and they won't. Merthyr Valley Homes will turn around and say, well, we send somebody. Now, they only got 3 guys, haven't they?
Yeah. You got 2 guys for a flight tip in, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
And 2 guys and 1 supervisor.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
So it's chaos, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, as I say, normal, because we class it as private land, so if there's any flight tip in there, we don't actually go in and collect
So
that.
we don't work together, we don't say, how can we,
Um,
if our boys are going there, vice versa.
It's a difficult one because, sometimes they have cleanups in the areas, in the Merthyr Valley Home, so we do assist them. But then, because we've only got this small team, it's somewhere where we've got to draw the line. So at the moment, we don't collect any flight tip in there.
Well, I know we're going to have a special meeting in this when we fly tip in and work together. Because we try to get Merthyr Valley Homes on the table
That's the action.
for their housing officers to phone in and say we'll fly tip in certain areas about. And we all got social housing in our own area, so it affects everybody. Another question I got on the community area volunteers for picking it up.
Yeah.
Now, they got special colour bags, haven't they?
Yes, yeah.
Right? They picked up on the same day or the day after.
Yeah, we try it the same day if we can.
Because
Yeah.
I noticed the other week they done it on Swansea Road, no problem, clean. When I come back down, and the kids make to kick them all over the place. You're back in square one, so I know it's hard to do it, but
Yeah.
if they can do it on the same day,
Yeah, that's what we
Great.
that's what we aim to do
Yeah.
on the same day.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not always achievable.
oh, I agree. But again, we're
So,
going to work, and that's trying to say with Merthyr Valley Homes, Castle Park area, Wales and West.
Yeah.
Why can't we get on the table and talk together and try to work together to improve it?
Definitely.
Because don't forget, we went to the same funding, won't we? The way it's going, so we've got to do something to improve,
Definitely.
like
agree
we
with
got
it.
in there. So
Yeah.
I know Sarah King was taking forward, didn't she?
Take a minute. Yeah, the flight tipping working group is still ongoing, Councillor Smith. All RSLs, local RSLs have been invited to attend. I can't remember what dates they are attending, but I think all of them have agreed to attend. So it's part of that working group, which is still ongoing at the moment. And as you say, it's being led by Sarah and Judith, so they will give an update to all members shortly, but I know they give an update to Cabinet member and Councillor Salmon as well monthly.
Dave, any news on that? Or should come back to you? Or
I think we're
any
going
ideas?
to come to this, I think, later
Okay,
later in the thing.
second chair.
No
Second
problem,
much.
Bill. Was it finished? Sorry, Bill. Yeah, we're going to come back to that, I think, in agenda item number 6. So, Councillor Geraint Thomas.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you, Mark. I'm going to go back over some of the old ground here, but some questions that align to some that's been previously asked. On the trunk roads, I only had a complaint yesterday regarding the slip road, where the water gullies that's taking the water are blocked, and the water then is running off down onto people's land and then finding its way back into water courses. But due to the severe weather we have been having in some of the storms, who's responsible for that when the cleansing takes place? Is it the council, or would that be Sutra for the water gullies?
The water gullies would be Sutra, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I have contacted highways, but I wasn't quite sure with some of the responses. Would it be us when we were out litter picking or not? So
yeah, it'll be Sutra for that, yeah.
Right. Thank you very much. Going then on to the deep cleansing team.
Yeah.
Have they got a programme of work set out, or is it only down to Tascomi when something comes in and they're out and about?
It's one of what we call a hit squad, so they mostly deal with the Tascomi. It's Tascomi complaints that they deal with, yeah. Because
like areas like Castle Park, for example, they've got miles and miles of lanes right throughout there. Wouldn't something like that be on an organised worksheet then, say every year or every 2 years that they'd get it done? No, I don't think it is. I think it's a bit ad hoc at the moment. Okay. If there is a major problem there to be identified, then we're going to look at that. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Then going on to the bins, dog bins and the recycling bins. I've put a request in for some lately, but apparently the budget is spent and we can't have them. That's correct. Yeah. But what if there's a bin which is rusted, been there for years, falling apart? Would that one be replaced or not? No, I think it's maybe something that we need to discuss with Scrutiny again. I know we put a bin policy before, but there's been, I think we may need to make a couple of amendments. What we're looking to do is, when they fall into disrepair, what we'll do, we'll use the audit tool to see if there's another bin in the area we could relocate. Yeah. And it's purely down to resources. It's the staff resources to actually empty these bins. So we don't really want to see that increase. We want to see, either kept the same or maybe reduce a little, so it makes it allow us actually to have that staff resources to collect the bins then, yeah. Because I just have many questions I was going to ask on that, because a lot of these have been historically placed in the past. Yeah. And have been there, but perhaps now would be a time to move them. Yeah. I know I've requested a meeting with Paul to meet me, in the ward, so we can have a little, drive around. Definitely, see where they're placed, and maybe can we move some around? Definitely, yeah. Something that we'd like to do. Obviously, we try to move away from just replacing them ad hoc. We look in to see where bins will be situated better, and that's where the audit tool will come in. So brilliant. To definitely do that, yeah. And again, if we've got our own funds through Fossafran or for Biffa, etc., and we were willing to pay for a bin. For example, on Merthyr Valley Homes are building 40 houses up on Wine Pant. Yeah. They've got community funds available to them, so they could spend. And I know they have said, they're willing to site the bin on that new area that they're doing. Right. If they will do that, will you agree to that? Because it is quite a large population increase for that area. Yeah, definitely. I think it's something we need to discuss. We don't want to do it, just go ahead and do it. I think we need to sit down and have a discussion about that. Yeah. Thank you very much. And my final question is on the weed programme. On page 11, it's got the table there of all the areas that's been done. Now, for the Cyfarthfa ward, you got on there Swansea Road and Ynysfach. Right. There's no mention of Ilgerig or Toyn Carmel, Castle Park, or Beacon Heights. Just want to clarify, they have been done. I believe they were done last year. Just hope they have been. If not, we'll have to have a conversation. Right, okay, I'll check for you. And we'll have that conversation. Because that's quite a big area. Right, okay. You might need an extra man. Yeah. Or lady. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All done, Geraint?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know who's first. I can't. Councillor David Hughes.
Yeah,
thank you.
Come back to flight tipping. When the gentleman go out to have a look at it, what's the process now? Do they put that red tape around it and leave it for 5 days? Or do they pick it up?
I would pick it up as soon as we can. Yeah.
That's good, because you stop the process. They put the tape around there and it can guarantee the next day is another 5 bags there. So
yeah, I think it's a case of we need to assess what's there first. If it's something we can't move, then maybe we'll have to red tape it off. But if it is movable straight away, then we'll take it away straight away.
that's good. Lovely. And my second question then about the weeds. I know we tried to get them to have the boys to clean once they sprayed it, because you can drive past it, okay, the spray have taken place and it's brown, but it still looks terrible because you got weeds stick up the ground which are killed. But have we got any where we go around then and warm up to get rid of the root, you know?
No,
because they only come back next year.
Yeah, I know. That's something, again, it's resource intense, that is, so it's something we can't really do at the moment.
I know last year we did have a team that went behind and over them down the Dowless, I know right down the main road.
Right, okay.
On the main trunks in, I know they put a team together where they were going around and trying to kill it in the edges. So
yeah, well, as I say, if we have got the resource available, I can't see there's no reason why we can't do it, but it will be resource requirements. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mark. That's me there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor David Hughes. Councillor Paula Layton.
Thank you, Chair. It's just a quick one, Mark. When we were talking about weed control 5.5.1 and training them up on the quads, to use the quads, these quads, are they already ours, or have we got to purchase them once the training's done? Because when they come in from outside, do they bring the quad with them, or?
No, we've got a quad up in the Cyfarthfa depot ready to go. So
right, and one is enough, yeah?
Yeah, it should be plenty, yeah.
Okay, lovely, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Councillor Clive Jones.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This one is under fly tipping, 5.7.1. It's the second dot down, where you refer to the historical problems with the British chip and the college car park, steep apartments you got there. The British chip is aptly named because it's just that. All and sundry, if they're walking up and down there, they must decide, well, this is the place to do it. And they'll throw anything and everything down there. Now, I know the one side of the Morris Brook, they've cut back all the bushes and whatever's there, which I think is a very good thing. Yeah. It then exposed the litter that's there. Now, I'm not sure if during the last few days that some workmen have been there and moved some of the litter. I don't know, because you clearly could see it from the car park where you couldn't see it before. And I know it's a problem because it's right across. Most of the embankment, unfortunately, is in the Parkwood. The furthest end you go is land which is just inside the town ward. And that's the really difficult area because it's very steep. Yeah. But could I implore that the British chip is looked at on a frequent basis? I know it's a problem because in the past you've had volunteers, although they've got to be careful because there are needles there and other things. So there's been a mix of our staff plus volunteers. When you go over to the steep part, which is an issue particularly for safety, when we had the pre-meet, we were told that I think it's the mountain rescue people, they do abseil training. And apparently, if at any time you are required at far end to move litter, my understanding is that they may well help you because it's part of their training coming down and ropes there. So that's but my question and what I'm imploring is that because myself and Councillor Minette Vokes get complaints not only from the residents around there, but the public as to why it's not cleaned up. I tried to explain to them that their eyes roll over, that it's not just a case of sending the normal cleansing person there. It requires, you know, a group and to know exactly what they're doing there. But the request is, can we have that area cleaned up more often than it is now?
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to the street cleansing officer, see what we can do for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Clive, you finished? Yes. Yeah. Councillor Geraint Thomas.
Yeah, on the same track as Councillor Jones, Mark. Again, in the Cyfarthfa ward, it's in the town centre boundary, really, where the long-term plan for town boundary, which we'd identified, was the college, and the back of the college, the Ynysfarth engine house side, and ironworks. It is deemed a biodiversity area, the banking, and a lot of trees were planted there. But it makes it very difficult for your staff, community groups, to clean those areas because they're so overgrown with vegetation. Lately, I'm not sure if it was the Andrew Taylor's team or yourself, has cut back a lot around the engine house. And we were able to get in there a fortnight ago, and we got about 40 odd bags of rubbish from there. Mixture, 20 recycling and 20 of waste, which was a real good day for us. But the more, and I believe it's an amenity area for people to visit that site, the more that we can cut back, the better we can keep it clean as well, because it makes it so difficult. So the question I got for you is if you can speak with the director and the other people in your area and cabinet member, perhaps some of these areas, you know, close to the town centre, perhaps should be taken out of that biodiversity stuff and put more to amenity. Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah.
Keep us tidy as well, so it was a good
done a great job.
Combined effort there, yeah. Yeah, I'll have a chat with the relevant people, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other members of questions? Okay, nobody's indicating. I've just got a couple of mop-up questions, if that's okay. In regards to the trunk roads, which has been mentioned by Clive quite a bit, as these roads are controlled by Suture, do the council get any money from Suture when they're picking them January to March?
No, that's the council budget we use for that.
Okay.
So we actually contract Sutra to do the works for us during the summer. Yeah, so the road that basically pays for the road closures. So we pay for the road closures with the work we do, and we contract Sutra in then for the summer work.
Okay. Mention needle stick collection. Just as a matter of interest, because we've seen an increase in dowlers and pant, of needles, and we hadn't for a while. We hadn't seen anything, but now over the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks, we've had to go out and kind of pick them up as well. Yeah. Have you seen an increase in that? In general, or
not that I'm aware of at the moment, but I can check on that for you.
Yeah. Next question. Clarification. Clive mentioned about the 193 bins that are not recyclable. They don't have those compartments. You said you've got bins there, a surplus.
There's no surplus. They're ready to be changed. They're just ready for change.
Would you just change them? Because I'm just thinking that 20 tons have been collected with the 100 odd recyclable materials have been collected with the ones that are already changed over. So that's the potential for an extra 20 plus tons of recycling with the other bins. Yeah. I'm just thinking it might be.
Yeah, that's something we can talk about. Yeah.
Obviously, it's capacity as well, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. On to weed spraying. you're going to train the lads up to go on the quad. I think a few years ago, the company I used to contract in, they were on quads.
Yeah.
But it was issues on certain roads. For example, in Downes and Pant, where the footpaths are quite narrow, so they weren't getting off the quads,
Right,
and
okay.
those areas weren't being sprayed. Is that going to be a problem?
Shouldn't be a problem for us. We make sure we do what we need to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's lovely. And it's just following on from Councillor Bill Smith, and obviously there's that hint that SPF money might end. When I know it was late this year, we didn't find out till March that it was going to be there.
Right, yeah.
Has there been any hints that there will be SPF there, or some sort of stopgap, because that's quite a lot of stuff?
Well, this year now is the stopgap.
Yeah, right.
So I think with the new central government, they're going to bring their own scheme in,
Okay.
but we're not quite sure what that's going to be, how much money is going to be available. So
So we're fairly confident there's going to be something there.
all
right,
that's
okay.
a good statement.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
going to put my name to that. No.
Yeah. No problem. That's it. Okay, that's it for me. Any other questions from members? No? Okay. Any comments from members? I think Councillor Gary Thomas or Bill Smith, Councillor Bill Smith, I'm not too sure. Gary Thomas, yeah.
Just like the thought, Mark, really. Coming into the service, he's hit the ground running. Always contactable and doing a great job. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank the team as well.
I will.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Councillor Bill Smith.
Yes, Mark. I've got to say, we've got a good team in the Gunners. I mean, a good team. I think we changed over 18 months 2 years ago, and Labour let it go around. But again, it's a lot of land we got. It's owned by MVH.
Yeah.
And they go and pick it up. You know, the last time we had, they wasn't picking the rubbish up in the grass. It's a knock-on effect.
Right, okay.
So if we can, look at that, but the team are doing it now. But if we did change the team, can we really look at it? Because a lot of people go to the Gunners, Prince Charles Hospital. If more cars go there, they used to go to us. So a lot of people look at it like the community areas I mentioned earlier on. You pass there and you see a rubbish there, it's a knock-on effect. Not only for the Gunners,
Okay.
even for the council.
Okay then. Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Nobody else indicating? Okay, I just want to reiterate what Councillor Gary Thomas, Councillor Bill Smith have said. Well done to your teams. Especially we've had use of the deep cleansing guys have come out and done areas absolutely fantastic. After they've been amazing. Phil Starr, Gary Thomas has already touched on this, but Phil Starr, and he was quite adamant that he wanted to commend the team for the work done around Ennisfark Engine House, and I believe flagstones are being done in the near future as well. Okay, nobody else is indicating. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can go if you like. Okay, agenda item number, let me see. I'll just go back to that. The recommendation on that was the scrutiny committee notes and debates the content of this report, which I believe they have. Clive, did you have should we bring that up after, a recommendation for them to do something? I'm sure you have. I'll have to go. I look back. Right, okay. Yeah, no, I do apologize. Lovely. Neil, if I saw Mark making a note of it, but if you could chase him out, oh, that's great. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, scrutiny forward work program. Yeah,
Mentioned about the dog bins and everything else. They're going to relook at them where they put them in the right places, because we got some two streets apart, and that's not working. Can we put a forward plan on a similar when officers to come back and have a look at it? Because a lot of people screaming out for dog bins all of a sudden, and I think we want to look at it, the best use we got. And don't forget, if we haven't got the staff to pick them up, they're left for days and they smell, and that's a knock-on effect.
Also on that, Neil, can you ask Mark to send out, there's an actual policy, where and it's a point system on how you get a bin in an area, and I don't know if it's for public dissemination. I think maybe, but it might be a good idea to pass it to councillors so they know how to get a bin in their area, fund independent, obviously. Clive?
That's the first I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the bin policy.
What was it?
Yeah.
It was in there.
Yeah. I have got it. I said I don't think it's for public consumption, but there is a point system, and it goes on how many people request a bin in an area, and if a councillor asks for a bin in an area as well.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. For work programme. In the next committee meeting in April, there is only the one report, and that will be the burial and cemeteries bereavement services. I think it's quite a topical one. I know David, when he was cabinet member, we're looking at quite a, because there's not a lot of room left in the cemeteries, and I think different things were brought up, and I think maybe it's definitely something to look at. Geraint?
Chair, I was going to mention, obviously I'm fairly new to this committee, so I don't know what's gone in the recent past, etc. But something perhaps we need to look at is some of the 20-mile-an-hour roads reverting to 30-mile-an-hour roads, which will be going to cabinet. I would have thought shortly. It has gone to some councils, and again, the general safety on our roads. Only this weekend there was an accident on the Brecon Road where the car toppled over in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, was on its roof. I think we need to have a look at how safe our roads are, because I don't think they are at this moment in time.
Just quickly on that, is the 20-mile-an-hour, is that coming to full council?
Cabinet it would go to.
Cabinet, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, the road safety, would that be part of this committee, or would it be regen? Because, don't quote me, but I think sometimes when it's after police chases that...
and that was the point.
I would say, though, that it's Carwyn Morris's team really is links with Go Safe. They're the ones that put out all the cables across the road to catch the speed.
It would be, and at least as part of the engineering team. So it would be but can I say about,
No, go on.
The accident on Brecon Road, I understand, was a police chase. And they were, I don't know, the police did it, but they obviously spotted them. It must have been about 2:30 in the morning, driving like idiots on the Gurness Road. They tried to get them to stop, didn't. Chased them. So they drove at speed down the Brecon Road, and when you go past the Growan Public House, just at that point, in the middle of the road, there just up from there is this bollard Bollard Island. Now, I travel up and down there countless times every day, and you've got the concrete which sticks out either side. You just touch that, if you're doing, it's all 20 miles an hour. How these 3 youngsters survived after hitting that, I'll never know. It flipped up. They hit it at speed. It flipped over. There were two 19-year-olds and one 16-year-old. And the one, I understand, was trapped inside there with oil leaking out of it. Now, what you can do about that in a 20-mile an area in the early hours of the morning, I don't know. But the point you make, and I think is a bit different to that particular
what I was
one.
going to add to it as well, I think if we could get the police in the room as well to scrutinise how they work together, our highways team and them, to make roads safer. Because
yes.
around that area in particular, Clive,
Yes.
around that, the cars that are parked on the pavements, all night, and it is a two-way road. It comes to the point where you can't. Only one car can go at a time.
And the other issue we've got is that certainly during the daytime there, you've got two garages, repair vehicles, and inevitably they are parking their cars full on the pavement, blocking off pedestrians. And, women who've got push chairs, they got to go out into the road because it's fully taken up the pavement. You add that to the parked cars then on either side, and you've got a bit of a problem. But my understanding was, coming back to the 20 mile an hour particularly, is that there were, because I asked Lisa, there were, because everybody was asked what they, that was it, there was a golden opportunity. After 450,000 allegedly people who had petitioned about this, half of them on the other side of the world, I understand. And in Merthyr Tydfil, you would have thought, with a population of 60,000, you'd have a few hundred people from the bottom of Trearis right up to top Dowlais who want these roads coming back to 30. 57 people wrote in, and two of them were the same person. And I think one of them was probably me, because I've asked them to look at the road between the Mormon Church and the Pandy clock. All right, you're going from 30, come to a 20 for a short distance, up to the Pandy. From there on, it's 30. So they are looking at that, and they promised, I think, to put this report together. How they're going to determine exactly which are the ones that are going from, I'm sure there'll be a few, from 20 to 30. I don't know how they're working it out, but there must be a system that must be the same for every one of the local authorities in Wales. But they must be due to come with that. I would, as you said, I think quite soon. But you're right. It's the real monitoring of all these 20, because we still see it now. I mean, you just, and probably the Brecon Road is a good example. Perhaps I parked the car to nip into one of the shops there. You come out, and it's in the daytime. There are people driving up and down there as if they got no regard for the 20 mile an hour at all.
It was only last week or the week before, there was another car on its roof up by the top gates of the park.
Oh, was it?
On the top of Park Road Gardens.
Oh, right. Another one.
It's just...
I didn't know that.
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah,
It's like the Wild West on the roads.
Yeah.
Clive, just on that quickly, I don't know if anyone does know, that you said 57 people have asked for roads to be changed back from 20 back up to 30.
Yeah.
You don't have any idea, or maybe Di does, on how many roads that equates to?
Well, when I asked the question, because it was only put on our website, which I thought, not that great amount of people look at our website, let's be honest with you. So when they put out the request, wanted to put in any indication where they wanted to look at the miles per hour. There was 57, but a lot of those were to the road down in Trearis up to Todderu. Yeah. That was, I think, more than half the people was from that area. But I did ask Lisa, look, Lisa, surely there's some other way we can get it out there if people want to, because the last thing we want is to come and then say, right, we've done all the changes, what we're going to, and then some people say, oh, I never seen that, because it was, as I said, Lisa, look, because it was only put on our website, to be honest with you, I never seen it on our website, because I very rarely go to the website, but if they had told councillors, maybe we could have put on our own platforms and asked people if they had any thing they wanted to talk about. And I wanted to bring up the Goatmill Road, you know, because I was caught up there. That's why. Doing 26 miles an hour.
You should declare a person
Doing 26 miles an hour. So
The Goatmill Road's 30 miles an hour, David.
pardon? Not the Goatmill Road, the Rocky Road, sorry. Oh. Coming up 20 miles an hour.
Councillor Smith.
Try it. £100.
We've asked this to put on the agenda a couple of months ago. And Gavin Morris to come, but only 12 days. We had a couple of storms because of a major problem with the staff, sinkhole. That didn't help out. So everything had been delayed by gather. So I think either we get in touch with the chief officer there and say, are we going to take it forward? Because it's on the news now, isn't it? Everybody's changing roads in different areas. And that's the problem. We want to take it forward because people are having to go. Me, not in, I won't say in the Goodness, because I'm quite happy with the Goodness, because you've got Prince Charles and 3 major schools. Yeah. And it's a big area, you know, I'm quite happy with that. Keep it 20. But I think we want to talk how, it's already saying we want it all changed, but how we got the right staff in place to take it forward. And I'd rather do that than to have the proper consultation and information and not make a mess of it like they've done elsewhere.
Clive?
But I understand what Councillor Hughes has said, but I agree that not everybody's looking at the website all the time. But the changeover, every authority in Wales is looking at this. So it's had quite a bit of general publicity that every local authority is looking at this. And well, I've read various places that Merthyr Tydfil is looking at this. So I think that people, most drivers are aware that they're seeking the views of the public of this. What I was trying to point out is probably thousands and thousands who complained about this and put their names in the petition. The year was a golden opportunity, and the overwhelming majority haven't.
I just like to say it have worked pretty good, Ron.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you know.
But the very sorry, yeah. David. The very fact is, I know they've got to base it on 3 years, but the full 12-month figure from up to last September, the number of people who've been killed, seriously injured, and others with minor injuries has dropped. And in North Wales, during that 12-month, nobody was killed.
It's basically day 55, yeah.
I'd see it.
I think with all the points raised, it'll be interesting to see when it comes to Councillor Cabinet. And,
but you're right, Chair. I think if we have them back with Lisa and Co and probably Carwyn Morris, I think it's imperative that the police are here as well on that meeting.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is I've just asked Neil when normally is the forward work programme discussed. And he said it's roundabout now, so I think now we need to have a meeting with Lee, because I think some of the things that have been mentioned over the last couple of meetings go into his traffic as well. And I think there's a crossover between both, and I think maybe one joint scrutiny between both maybe might be an idea anyway. Geraint?
Yeah, I think as well. Because the directives have changed quite a bit now, the public protection, I believe, may be somewhere else. Because everything is moving around. So, you know, I think we all need to be clear where things sit these days.
Yeah, we'll get some
Yeah.
clarification on that. David?
Yeah. When I was cabinet member, I asked Carwyn and Darren to give me a list of all the roads which had been tarmacked over the last 2 or 3 years, because we got 3 years to report any defects on the road. Now, I've gone around a few of these roads, and to be honest with you, they're breaking up within 6 months of them being done. So we got highway engineers out there who's looking at this. So I wondered if we could do a task and finish it group on it, Chair.
You leading on, Dan?
Yeah, I'd be happy
Yeah?
leading it.
Okay,
I'd be
because
happy
you'll
to
have had a
do
lot of information on
it.
it.
Yeah, I got all the information.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that.
Might be good then to have a meeting to kind of flesh out what exactly you want to bring out of it, and what and the positives you want at the end.
What
of
I
it
was
as well.
looking at, we paying so much money in getting people coming back and doing patches, when really we shouldn't be paying for them, because them roads are new. Even the Goatmill Road travelling along here last week, and there's a massive big hole there. Now that was only done a couple of months back. And
utility.
No, it was the road that broke up.
So
Yeah.
we arranged to have it done. Council.
Well, they done the old road, and then we've gone back now and put a patch there. But we shouldn't be doing that. That should be the people who done the roads.
No warranty.
And I think we can save a load of money, because I brought up with the Gunner String Road, where if you go down that road, where they've been working there, the water board that left it atrocious. So I brought up with Judith, and apparently they're going to do it all now. But they are going to cost the price. Yeah, but the thing is, it should have been the water board who dug it up.
So they done an agreement.
There's an agreement there.
Not as straightforward as you think. Like I tell you, they done an agreement that we work, and they left it to the last minute, because if they done it when the road was done,
Yeah, it would have been.
last so long.
No, I knew about the agreement, but what I'm saying is, water board are the worst. My boy worked for them. Let me tell you, the workmanship is terrible, to be honest with you. They just sit and run.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Can't understand.
Right,
Okay.
what we...
There you are.
We're going to get
I'm
in
off
trouble.
my
you are.
I'm off my soapbox. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So, Neil, if we can put a meeting in, Councillor David Hughes, and I sit in with as well, kind of to go through the heads of terms really of that task and finish group, okay. Yeah, Bill.
I support a joint meeting with Regeneration, but I also want to invite the company who's running the traffic lights down Radical Roundabout, because we're having so many complaints about them 2 traffic lights down there. You go one opposite Farm Food, one opposite the primary, right? It's causing chaos, because the lights, they go on every other. The traffic is mounting up. And sometimes on a Friday up there, right, you're up there for half hour trying to get down. So we want to have it, and it's the Welsh Government, didn't they? They're in charge of them, so I think we want to call them in, Neil.
It's the sequence,
So,
because if they were connected in some way, it would limit the amount of queuebacks that are happening there.
sure, I've asked them for a meeting, right, and asked them for one button to work out the 2 lights going. So
Has Bill, has Carwyn Morris got no say at all in
no,
in that?
it's because the roundabout, it's trunk road there.
No. After you come off the roundabout.
No, one is Clay, one's the trunk road opposite by the roundabout. Be careful now. No,
Pedestrian one.
yeah.
I don't know about that. They
pedestrian.
both pedestrian.
Can you make a note for us to ask Highways
Spoke to her on it.
who controls both lights and who needs to be contacted in regards to
Well, one button on it, the other one.
the settings on
One
them?
on
So
each
just so we're clear.
Kiss up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carwyn Morris will be able to advise you.
You'll be the answer to that, yeah.
I think we got about 10 sets of lights in one room.
Okay.
At the moment, they're working.
Okay, I'm going to go on to agenda item number 5. Oh no, hold on. I still need to go on to because I think we're already on agenda item number 5 as well in a way with scrutiny referrals and some of the things coming through. But just note that Neil has said they'll be arranging biodiversity site visits soon. Also meeting waste services. I think it's been in the pipeline for a while to go and see their cab technology. Which has been installed, and I believe they said they've started to use or are about to start to use, so they'll be coming in quickly as well. Okay, so really we've done agenda item number 4 and 5.
That's right, isn't it? Where you phone me up?
Agenda item number 6, feedback on scrutiny activities, any outstanding actions, feedback from workshops, task and finish groups, inquiry days, and things like that. Bill has asked about this fly tipping task and finish group, which has been finished on Friday night at 10 o'clock. I believe I sent you. There's me Friday night 10 o'clock. No life, Bill, none. Yeah. So I've actually sent Neil the redacted edition of the task and finish, which has taken out a lot of information that can't be shared with the public at this time because some of it is one case is going to court, and so hopefully that will be fairly soon. And there's people's names mentioned within the council and that which has got to be taken out as well. In regards to meetings, Sarah King, the director, has met with Neil and I believe outside organisations. I think Mark from Keepers Tidy a week last Thursday, Welsh Water, Natural Resources Wales. Some of the people that I asked for information in regards to that task and finish group. So I think she was meeting them to come up with a strategy. I was supposed to have a meeting the day after that, but it was cancelled. So I've only had the one meeting. But the terms of reference that Sarah King gave to us was that from the end of March, which is in a couple of weeks' time, she and everyone else involved would have started to put together a way of tackling fly tipping. I dare say I don't think that everything's going to be sorted out in one hit, but it's a start. And I think Neil, you've been in these meetings, so I don't know if there's anything you can share. Possibly not.
Yeah, difficult for me to share, as I say, because the meeting's actually been chaired by Sarah and Judith Jones. And I know they want to sort of control what messages are sort of going out on what work had been done. But I am meeting with Sarah tomorrow morning, actually, because I was unable to attend the last session they had because it was half term and I was on leave. So as part of that, I will request whether sort of a wider communication can go out to the members just to update you basically what's progress has been made so far.
I think that'd be helpful as well, so that everyone will be kept in the loop. Okay. I think that's it on that one, Neil. You got action logs, which have been shared with the committee. I don't know if anyone has raised anything in regards to them.
Yeah, no issues have been raised to myself with regards to the action log, and I think they're all up to date.
Okay.
As we stand, obviously apart from today's meeting.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, agenda item number 7, street lighting site visit. I think members were able to go down to Unit 5, Unit 5, meet with Synergy Renewable Solutions, who were able to show some of the equipment that they've got, and they're working with the Highways Department. Because one of the areas that they want to test, which yeah, I don't want to mention just yet until that kind of information goes out. So we'll wait for that department to come back and say they're happy with with what's been written about that report, so the three ward councillors can share that and maybe go up and speak to the residents and things like that. But it was a productive day, morning, afternoon. I think it is the way to go. Technology has come on leaps and bounds. I think Chris Rideout, I only met him last year, to be honest, in regards to street lighting and a certain issue. Obviously, I'd known him for years before that, sorry. But I met him in regards to an issue, and he did tell me that he didn't think that main street lights would change probably for the next 10 years. But at that meeting, he said that they were already, I think it was at Plymouth, that they've already started to put these lights, the solar lights, in on main carriageways, and they were working. So maybe the technology's here, and I don't know if he was going to Plymouth to see how it works, and maybe feedback to us that way as well. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if anyone's got anything to add on that visit. Nope. Okay. Agenda item number 8, any other business deemed urgent by the chair? I have none. I declare this meeting closed. Thank you very much.